Welcome back to Maker's Journey Workshop. I'm Benjamin Davies, and today we're learning how to make tenons. If you've been keeping up with us, we did a video for you showing you how to make a guillotine tool if you didn't have one at home. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out right after this one. We'll link it in the show notes for you. Forging tenons is pretty easy, and it's that much easier if you've tooled up. And if you have that guillotine tool, all you need is about one more set of dies separate from that video we made. And they look like this. Nothing fancy, pretty easy to make. Again, just 1-inch mild steel. And I put a little bit of radius on mine, not much, very subtle. Just enough to where I'm not working with perfectly square material and it's a little forgiving and doesn't bite in after we isolate the material for our tenon. But we're gonna start out with these dies. And those are 45 degree, probably a little bit aggressive, but I was thinking about some flat bar projects we wanna do in the future and I wanted to make sure I had enough clearance. I think probably closer to about a 30 to 35 degree would be a better way to go with these, but these will do just fine for isolating our tenon. Go slow, take your time, and try not to bite off too much material, and that way you're not having to forge out a tenon that's 6 inches long when 1.5 inches will do. All right, starting stock size, 1 inch, solid round, hot rolled. Take your time and go slow here. What you don't want to do is bite in too deep and then not have enough material back there to make a nice transition from your tenon to the shoulder. So take your time, like I said, go slow, it's gonna be your friend. And once you've done several of these, you'll kind of get an idea of what speed to go, or you can even make a dedicated set of dies to where you drill out the middle of that fuller to isolate that material. And that way, once those dies start to kiss each other, you know that you've gone far enough. But today, we're just gonna eyeball it. Hey, real quick, if you're new to our channel, my name is Benjamin Davies. We're right in the middle of our 30 for 30. Just took yesterday off Easter to celebrate with our family, but we're still cramming in 30 videos in 30 days. For those of you who tuned in and watched our video Saturday, man, thank y'all so much. That was awesome. If you want to know more about the 30 for 30, go check out this video right here. For now, let's get back to our show. Thank y'all for being here. All right, so I've got my tenon to a good point. Here's how I like to measure, and that way I can slide in there, but it really struggles to get on there. And so that's gonna help me. I want that a little bit thicker. And now we're gonna use our flat dies, which means we can go in there and take our time and get it low and slow, baby. And use our gauges too. Again, we're gonna start out with square, and I wanna make sure that it doesn't fit in my gauges, but gets pretty close. Then we wanna break it down to octagonal and then round, and then we're gonna check to see if it fits in our monkey tool. We'll talk about a monkey tool a little bit later in the video if you don't know what that is. All right, so I'm getting pretty close to where I want to be now. I'm actually going to move over to the edge of the anvil, and we're going to start taking our time drawing it down there. What you want to remember to do there is be as level with the surface as you can. I'm going to use my big hammer. That way I'm not trying to put all my force into moving the metal, and that way I can be as relaxed as possible. That might sound silly to you. Sounds a little silly coming out of my mouth, but if I'm trying to move that 2.5, 3 pound hammer with as much energy as possible, I'm really amping up, gearing up, and coming out of my form. Whereas if I'm just using a 6 to 8 pound hammer, which is what I'm swinging here, I can kind of take my time and go slow and just relax. I don't have to let the hammer do the work. And that's what I'm gonna do here. It's really important to try to stay off of these shoulders. You don't wanna mess those up. But if it happens, it happens. That's part of the learning process. Don't beat yourself up. I might even do it here. Let's see. And so if you'll notice, I'm focusing towards the end of that bar. I think I did even miss a lick once right about here. I'm still not that guy after 15 years who can come in with perfect precision hammer blows within a 1/16 of an inch or even maybe an 1/8 of an inch sometimes. That's just not me. And that's where the guillotine tool comes in handy. It is going to make up for your deficits or your limitations. This is not something that I'm the best at. I'm okay with that. I've got strong suits in other places, so I'm not too worried about being perfect at everything I do. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put my guillotine tool back and I'm gonna start working that down. And we're gonna get close to, I think, about a 5/8 inch is what we're gonna use for our tenon today. And we're gonna finish off, get it rounded, and then we're gonna establish a shoulder on it. For this next step, you're going to need a monkey tool. Today, I'm not going to show you how to make a monkey tool. I'm just going to explain this one, and it's pretty basic. We will make a monkey tool later on in the week. I'll explain to you some different nuances about that. That's not going to be as straightforward as this one. Here's this one. I got no idea why I put that big hole in it years ago. I'm sure I saw something. I'm sure there was a reason. But essentially, it's just a way to hammer on a shoulder. There's several different ways. But this one, just drill. That's it. Chuck it up in a vise. Put it in your drill press. Progress your bits if you've got dull bits, or and take your time. Use lots of oil and just drill. That's all there is to it. You can leave the backside open if you want to. You just need to make sure that your tenon doesn't protrude out. That's a nice way to knock a tenon out also. It's not left open in this. And this is just a piece of 1.5 inch square solid bar, and mild steel will work fine for this. So all I need to do now is cut off a little piece of that tenon, and we're going to start smacking it in there and establish a shoulder. And what we're looking to do is upset the material where the tenon meets the shoulder, and that's just going to create and secure a stronger joint for you and establish a shoulder on that tenon. All right, let's finish strong. And that's our tenon all finished up. Let's take a real quick look, and I'll just show you how clean the detail is with just some basic tooling. That last spot I pointed to, that's where I mislinked at the anvil. That happens. That's the great thing about using a guillotine tool or any kind of tooling. It allows you to get in there and be a lot more precise than what you would with just your hammer at the edge of the anvil. If you're one of those people that can swing perfect every time, hats off to you. That's awesome. I'm just not one of those guys. I know there's a lot of people out there that aren't, and that's okay. All kinds of workarounds for that. Tool up, you'll be fine. So, if you've not done tenons yet, and you do have access to a guillotine tool, get out there and make some of these. We're going to do some projects in the next couple of weeks that involve some of these tenons, and I'm telling you, they're so fun and they're so rewarding. Once you finally put some things together as a blacksmith without using a welder, welder's a nice, easy workaround, and there's nothing wrong with it. But this is cool. This is next level. So work on this. If you got this far in the video and you don't know what a tenon is or what it's for, essentially this will be a pass-through for metal, and we will rivet off the other side. All kinds of options. You don't have to rivet. You can actually put a slot in here, forge it square. There's all kinds of possibilities of things you can do here. Whereas more often than not nowadays, we're just shoving a weld and we're not even doing a pass-through. We're just connecting pieces. This is next level. Get out there and practice this. It takes a little longer. I cheated today. I'm gonna call it cheated. And I used my torch. It's 91 degrees in the shop. I didn't feel the need to heat up the forge just for this one thing. So get out there, knock it out, have fun. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all for being here.